All right, welcome back everyone to Deeper Conversations. Hi, I'm your host Matthew Silvers, and today we have you know what, we've talked once, but I feel like I know you so much already. But I have a dear friend here with me today, Jae Byrd. How you doing?
Hey, what's happening? It's
I
good to
just
be on finally.
I know finally it's been a couple weeks since I've started the podcast, and I've had a couple people on, of course, and I've been waiting for this one. But listen, you
Uh,
gotta save some good ass material for like right in the middle. We're gonna get into it today.
like I told you, first of all, seriously, congratulations to you. Let me just start there because you said you wanted to do it and you reached out. We talked a little bit, and I'm so glad that you got it up and running. This is awesome. It's so therapeutic to just have a place to get all of the stuff out. So I want to start off with saying congratulations to
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you for letting me be a part of it.
Heck yeah.
I love podcasting. I'm just so excited to just be a part of this journey.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you to be here too. And I love like anybody that isn't watching specifically on YouTube. Um,
Yeah.
Jay has this weird energy that I feel like I've never felt from anybody before. Um, he's just super fun for no, like, I don't
I'm
know. He
assuming
just
it's
came
good
out with
energy.
these strong, weird opinions that we talked
Yeah.
a little bit on a live before about like some TV shows that you used to watch, and like it was this
Yeah.
fun vibe, and we could have just sat there and like talked for hours.
Yeah. I
So
think
if
you and I
this,
definitely
yeah,
have had an instant connection. I'm really glad for that. I
yeah,
and the way we met because I seen your TikTok video and instantly I wanted to say something to you, like how incredibly vulnerable of you. Something I could never do.
you
Never
don't
ever do.
think?
Put myself out there. No, no. I mean, I'm vulnerable, but I like to sort of deal in facts
Okay,
when I talk to people, or if I'm putting something on the internet, unless I'm trying to be artsy and cryptic.
yeah,
But normally, I'm never like bearing my emotional side
yeah.
online like that. I try to keep it really light and fun.
Yeah, which I think, obviously I had some comments on that video or whatever where,
Yeah,
it was all about performance activism, where like, what are you like, ew,
yeah.
don't film yourself recording where you're crying. Really wasn't the point, kind of missed the point of the video, but like I was really just, doing it. And by the way, my
And
thoughts in
that's
that
the thing.
moment,
It felt really natural.
yeah, well, especially like, okay, sometimes when you cry and you're crying hard, I black
Mm,
out. I had no
that's
idea what I
fair.
was doing. I know that sounds
Yeah,
weird, but I was like not of sound mind and judgment.
yeah.
Like I literally grabbed my phone, walked from my bed, or you know what? I was on the floor. Like I was on the floor fucking crying.
Oh,
And
you okay? So
I
this was
got
going on for
up.
some
Yeah,
time.
I haven't told the story
Yeah.
behind it. Um, But you know what? I think it okay. Oh, I'm gonna catch myself. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, I'm a little bit of a liar. So I was on the phone with a friend who was trying to calm me, or with my cousin who was trying to calm me down, and I was
Mm,
sobbing on the floor, and he was trying to ask me questions, and I was like, I gotta do something. And I guess I picked up my phone, I walked in the bathroom,
yeah.
and I made that video and then walked back. And I don't think I called him back because that would have been weird. Because then
Yeah.
that would have felt like performance activism. That would have been
Right.
strange.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I blacked out, and like I didn't even think. People were like, "You didn't really have
Yeah.
to post this. Like, did you not even think a second thought?" No, I really
I
didn't.
did thought that too. I mean, in my head, I was like, I don't know if like me myself, I would have looked at it like, oh no, that's not
Yeah,
happening.
but you know what's funny is like, and that's the majority of my videos, to be honest. I
Yeah.
don't look back at them. I say
Yeah.
what I say. If I screw up my voice, like if I screw up what I say, like I go back
Yeah.
and like redo it. But in something like that, like I made the video, clicked
Mm.
like the check mark and clicked go. Is there even there probably is
I've
maybe
never
caption.
posted a TikTok video. I just comment, so I have no idea
Okay.
what the
I don't
posting
know if
process
there's a
looks like.
caption on the video. There probably is.
I don't think it is.
I haven't looked in a minute. It's still getting comments on it. And I'm still getting messages about it, which is
Yeah.
so cool.
Now,
But
are they mostly good or are they mostly bad?
the ones now are like the ones now are good.
Yeah.
Like any of the ones from now are just there's been a couple comments, but like no
Mhm.
DMs where it's like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Like whatever, like especially from the Twitter people. But I posted that
Oh yeah,
video
Twitter's out of pocket. I
and
think
I
I've seen it
just,
on Twitter
yeah,
too.
and I just did it and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then because I was crying and it was like, I think like 10 o'clock at night, a,
Yeah.
a bitch is going to bed. Like I'm going to bed. I'm
Cried yourself
crying
to
myself
sleep.
to sleep. I'm going to bed. So
That's
obviously
fair.
I'm not checking this video. And I
Yeah.
wake up like, a little bit later. I think I slept in and I took a shower. And it's weird to some people, but I bring my phone into the shower. I spend 45 minutes in the shower because I just
No,
watch
I
TikToks
do
in the
that
shower.
sometimes. I have like
It's so
a
bad.
amount that I set it on.
Come
I
through.
watch WandaVision on Friday when I wake up, and then I'll put it on the shower caddy and rewatch it again while I'm showering.
I watch
Yeah, I love
WandaVision on the
WandaVision.
treadmill. That's where
I
I watch
love
WandaVision.
it. I
Um,
love it.
it's so good. But yeah, so then I was taking a shower. It might have been 9, 10 o'clock by the time I first watched it. And it already had like 50 to 100,000 views, and views were going up. And I had never seen more comments in any video that I've done. And I've
You
had
know
some,
what
it's
though?
crazy because I have like 2 or 3 other viral videos that had like 500,000 views because of not a repost, but like I took a video of a TV show and like posted
Yeah,
it and like kind of made a small bit of commentary and they
yeah.
blew up. But they had 500,000 views, but only like 700 comments. This video has 4,000 comments.
But what a
So
journey though. Like, I mean, you did that, you bared your soul. Um, and now here you are sort of continuing on a message, that
yeah,
message.
which I'm excited about. I
Yeah.
think I've had a couple people are like, "What's your podcast about?" And I've told them that the name of it kind of explains itself. It's deeper conversations, and I haven't gone too into singular things about the community quite yet, which I'm going to do. I would love to do.
Mhm.
I've asked a couple of my guests kind of questions pertaining them specifically about almost like open relationships,
Mhm.
and I asked John about the difference between racism and the LGBTQ community in Canada versus the US.
Mhm.
So I'm getting there slowly. I haven't started getting like nitty gritty about it, but that's what's nice about the name of the podcast. Kind of lets me do a little bit
Mhm.
of everything, and
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
gives you a
love.
lot of breathing room. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the guests is because I kind of have like this one thought, this one thing that I really want to talk about. I take it, I say it, and then we just go with the conversation. I
Yeah.
was on with Joelle and we talked about the Monopoly Man before we got into basically a therapy session for myself. So these conversations are really
Right.
refreshing. And I love
Yeah.
that. That's what the meaning of deeper conversations
Right.
is we are just taking a topic and we are running with it.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I like that idea. And I'm
I
a
don't got no
conversationalist.
games. It's
So
not that structured. We're just fucking
what? We're not
going for
playing
it.
guess what song that is?
Oh my god. Never heard that one before. That sounds like a new
Oh my god,
game.
it's like a whole TV show about it. Like where like they play a snippet and you have to guess the song. I can't believe it. It's whatever. It's
What?
a
No.
really
Oh,
fun show.
I was being
No,
sarcastic. Wait, are you being sarcastic? Oh shit.
no, that's a real show with Jamie Foxx
No,
and
no, no,
stuff.
no.
It's
I
so good.
know. I know that's a real show, but
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
like I've never heard that before. Like everyone does guess that song. No, that's what
Sorry.
yeah. I should have some games that could be fun though, but like I
Yeah,
just love having these conversations with my guests, and I haven't really found a guest yet where it hasn't been not genuine, where we're just like going with
yeah.
it, and that's felt great. Um, if I ever like look down or anything and you're on YouTube, it's because I have a notepad and I write questions down as they come in my brain because I always have so many and I forget. Then I cross them off once we get to it. Like I check it off. Like,
So
we're
smart.
doing the thing and it feels good. Like I love this.
I'm
And
also loving my setup too. Like I put a
yeah,
light up. It's
I need,
I just I just want to look like I'm just like lounging. Like
I might want to set my mic up by my couch because you look bougie as hell and I'm here for
it is
it.
great. It is great.
Um,
I put a gray sheet so you don't see my old patterned couch.
you look like Mariah Carey.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. The
welcome.
lights come from this side. I need some sparkly effects. It's the whole thing. It's all about. I tried
Uh,
2 different setups prior though. So it was a mission.
I love that. But yeah, we're just running with it. So yeah. But so we met through
Yeah.
TikTok.
So we met through TikTok. We sent messages.
We sent a couple messages before I feel like I
Yeah.
really knew, like realized who you were, because it didn't click. So what had happened was I ended up through Twitter having a shit ton of haters come at me for that video, and other videos after it. Um, anyways, and I had this Twitter troll that kind of wouldn't stop. His name is Tyler Christensen. Yes, I just called him out. No, I don't care.
As you fucking should. Let me
As
say,
I should. This
as
motherfucker
you
out
should.
here.
Look,
I know
I
more about him
all
than
the
he
things.
does me. I know a lot about him, but he doesn't know that I know a lot about him. So if he's listening, hey bitch, you better watch out. Just kidding. I wouldn't do anything to him unless he tried my life.
Am I on the beach show? Good.
I know.
I'm ready
Welcome
for
to
it.
Dr. Phil. Who's the father?
Right.
But so I went live with him because he was going back and forth with me. And if you know me, I really hate any conversation that's not FaceTime or in person. Text conversations, I do not want to text you my life. I do not want to text you my problems. It is
They're
not
always up for
intimate enough.
interpretation.
I fucking need the intimacy.
Yeah.
And so I told him if he wants to hate on me, he's going to hate on me, but he's going to do it on video. And I was willing to set up a private call, but he didn't like that. He wanted to do it where other people were around. So I was like, okay, let's.
One of the show.
He suggested Instagram Live, and it was like, okay. So he went on Instagram Live, and then he kind of went at me with the stuff that he already has on his YouTube channel. And he was just trying to get my claims on what he had said about me on his YouTube video about me, and we did that for a little bit, and then I had John on for like 10 minutes, and then Jay came on for we spent what 2 to 3 hours just talking about so much shit.
It was quite some time, and
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed that you were just kind of like open and receptive, and that just really cemented how much of an awesome person you are.
Yeah.
And I just can't say that enough. Like, you've been so genuine and so kind
Yeah.
every time I see you.
Oh, it means so much. It means a lot. Okay, somebody called me out, him included, thinking that lie.
I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. Let me, I was, fuck it. I'm going to say it because I'm really that bitch to fuck with. Because when you went live with him, it wasn't, it didn't feel like a real conversation, right? This is a person that was waiting for you to say something so that they could just take another jab. And it just felt like you weren't prepared for that type of conversation, which annoyed me, and it felt really unbalanced.
Yeah. Wait.
It just didn't feel like a conversation.
I felt like here's the thing is I felt like going in, I was like, I have to sit here and I have to think about what I have to say. And I have to pause and I have to make sure that what I'm saying is what I need, like wanted to say, and sort of clarify the thoughts that other people were assuming about me. And he basically came at me with the things that he had in the video, and I was kind of prepared for that. But I don't know. That was my first time almost like being interviewed myself. And he just like kind of came for me, and I was like, I'm gonna do this as respectfully as possible. I don't need you rolling your eyes at me. I don't need you staring me down.
You're nicer than I am, because no way in hell you gonna think you're gonna talk to me in no kind of way on the internet.
I have had encounters the past couple of weeks where I want to read a bitch for Phil, like, and I can do it too. Like, it's in my brain, and I don't know why I didn't rip him a new one, because I needed to make sure that my side was okay. But basically, him and a couple of other people claimed that like the two people that came after happened to be two people of color, which, okay, great. And they called it performance activism, and I kind of asked questions to both you and John for only like a couple of minutes, just a couple of small bitty questions.
But I mean, you know, the thing though is like, it, not to minimize your experience, but it never was that deep to sort of come up with this underlying storyline that they made up for the sake of boredom. I don't fucking know. And so it was like, there's a difference between white privilege and white guilt. And I think I spoke about that on the video. And I think one of the things that they were trying to do is make you feel guilty for your own personal experience. Like, you were talking about dating, and how it looks to you in your world, right?
Yeah.
You weren't excluding anybody, you wasn't being rude, you were saying your truth in in what is visually a distressed state, you know? So like the fact that you can't have sympathy for another human on the most basic level is fucking stupid and corny, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Like be original,
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. And I guess I agree. But yeah, it was just crazy because they definitely right after that video, they were like, looks like performance activism, like he's asking them questions so that they can affirm what he's saying is right. And I was like, I asked these questions so that you have differing points of views from people that, mind you, I hadn't talked to prior to that live in person.
For sure.
And I wasn't trying to be validated. I was just really just asking questions and
Well, because people of color, you got me saying it. Because black people are not a monolith. If you, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say that. That's stupid. I'm black. Uh, but black people are not a monolith. So if you have somebody that's offended by something, it doesn't mean we're all offended. And so I think that by surveying the audience or the people that was there, the viewers, you're doing the right thing. You're asking questions. You're continuing on the dialogue, and people are going to have different opinions. And the average viewer is going to take all this information and make their own decision. Isn't that the beauty in how we work? Like,
yeah. And that's the thing is like, and Jay knows, like I'm really still continuing to try to have this conversation and whatnot. And people don't realize like I just was in a Facebook group that I joined and someone just brought up like, oh, the white people in this group like are really killing me. And I'm like, you can't just make a baseless statement without like saying
right.
anything. And I was on her side, which was the funny
I
thing.
do say shit like that when I'm joking, to be completely honest with you. When I'm
Yeah.
joking. Like
But like,
I
and that's okay.
right.
But she was dead serious. And I was like, I mean, and even me, I'm like, yeah, sometimes white people really don't know what they're doing, like
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still trying to continue this conversation. Sorry, I'm like my brain farted, so I redirected it a
No,
different way,
fine.
so I couldn't stop talking. Um, but I'm still trying to further this conversation, and those conversations that she brought up in that Facebook group, it was like 2 weeks ago. All I really said to her was, I know you want to make change. This isn't the way to do it. If you want to make change, you have to take it off text conversation.
Yeah.
And I think it's beneficial to educate others in person. If you have like an elongated conversation on text, like cool,
Mm-hmm.
great. But like, that's not the way to make change. And like, it's about acting on it and doing something about it and having conversations that are stuck on the internet
Mm-hmm.
and are elongated, not just like a 60-second TikTok or
Mm-hmm.
a 2-sentence post on Facebook. Like, and that's
Yeah,
why I wanted to
real
do the
change
pod.
doesn't
Yeah.
happen overnight. It's through tough conversations. My theory on that very same thought is just you have to have conversations with people who don't think like you. So a lot of times in media is sort of shaped in a way that is going to cater to you. Unlike a lot of other websites, we all use Google for anything we're looking for, depending on the information Google has gathered, where you're searching from, the time of day you're searching. Everyone's bound to get different results if you type in 2 words. That's just the way the algorithm works. Um, and so I realized this around the Trump presidency mostly, um, because a lot of what I was seeing was obviously against Trump, mostly true, but against Trump. But it wasn't until I talked to people from the other side, did my research, that I realized while most of it is true and he is, a shitbag person, there are just blatant lies that's out there, right? And so it's our job to siphon through what's easily available and really going outside of our comfort zone and talking to people who are on this other side of the table. And I will go further to say that you need people at different levels of that table, right? You need people that's closer to the front, closer to the back, people sitting at that table, people taking notes on the side. I hope all those metaphors making sense. But the point that I'm making is that you need to talk to more than one person. It needs to be
Yeah.
a conversation that happens over time because it's long and it's arduous. You can't just wake up and just be like, boom,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I'm sure
The
slavery didn't
funny,
happen
yeah,
overnight.
and the funny thing about
Right.
that is that I made a couple of videos when I was talking about it like hard on TikTok, was that I wanted that conversation to be continued. Do you know how many people stitched or duetted any of those videos? Absolutely none of them. Until the hate train came and the videos were about hate, and I was like, well, at least they're talking about the conversation slightly.
Yeah.
um and then I made that YouTube video, which I still am justly proud of, and all
Yeah.
of those things are in there, are still very true. And I had a couple people comment, and I'm like, okay, debate me on it. And then it would be
So
dead silent, and I'm like, you cannot make baseless claims without trying to follow up, because I'm trying to involve the conversation. And I am all for one, like, fucking call me out. If I say some shit that's wrong, I'm gonna try and apologize. I'm not gonna try. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to
right.
educate myself, and we're gonna try it again. And and some people
And the
did
fact
that.
that you're willing to still do it so publicly, hats off to you.
Yeah.
What is? I have a question for you. I know it's your show, but
No, I love that.
what
This is
is?
what that's what this is about.
What is your thought now, looking back on the video? Has it changed at all? Has it evolved? Do you still feel exactly the same, that the gay community is trash when it comes to dating? Like, what is your opinion? Because that's
Um,
what I gather. And again, you're not wrong. I'm still on board with that school of
yeah.
thought.
I mean, I still have all my notes from that video. Like, you know, yes. I mean, I still very much think that the community is gross, it's toxic, and
Mm,
it's crazy. Okay. Ooh. So me and Jay talked for like a couple minutes before we started this, and I told
yeah.
him something that I had just done, and I had to Google the answer. I'm not gonna say what it is because it's a
Mm.
little out of my comfort zone, which is weird. Very, it's a little vulgar too. I wouldn't put it on the
Fair.
podcast,
Bitch,
maybe
let
quite
me tell you
yet.
something. When I did my podcast, I was nasty as hell. I talked about every fucking thing.
Yeah, but I
I
just like, I don't think I'm ready for that. But like I did something, and something ended up somewhere that I don't think it should have, and I looked it up, and I didn't know if I was safe. And I know that this conversation seems derailed, but my point is, I should be able to go to other gay men about that conversation and just like
mm,
openly be like, this just happened to me, like, am I okay?
mhm.
um and that just simply wouldn't happen. and and it
I'm
just
okay
sucks.
with that type of conversation,
And
and
so
I'll
am
give you
I,
my
and I'm glad
number, and
we have
we'll
each
have that
other,
conversation.
right? But I just think even to that level, like, it just showed me like it does kind of still suck. Like, and I've had, since that video, I've still had conversation with people. Oh, let me tell this story. I haven't told this story
Yeah.
publicly yet. So I have given my number to a lot of guys in my gym. Crazy. Like, too many. Like, I don't know
You
how I
should
go
put
to
it
this
on that
gym because
postcard with the
none of them had in-depth conversations with me. Like,
put it
it's
on
been
a
crazy.
postcard with the rip number thing, like call me for a good time.
I'm dead. No. I just walk up to them and I'm like, "Are you gay?" Um, but so I happened to think that this guy was attractive, and I walked up to
Yeah.
him, and I looked at him and I said, "Are you gay?" I can't even do it. The deepest voice I have ever heard in my life says, "No, I'm married," in the most deep and aggressive tone.
Oh.
And this was one of those thoughts where I was like, I'm about to read this bitch for
Did
filth.
you apologize? Like, what did you say?
Oh, I said, okay, and walked away. Because, bitch, I don't even have friends in this place that much. Like, I'm gonna like
Yeah.
I wasn't asking you to fucking kiss me in the fucking gym. Like, literally,
Yeah.
just I was looking for people. Like, I know, understand that it sounded like I wanted his number, like, to date, like, cool.
It honestly, I would have, I
Which
wouldn't
is
have gotten aggressive, but
which
I
is which
probably
was
would
the
have paused.
original intent. If you were a
Yeah.
straight person, your response should be something sweet and like, let me know. He wasn't wearing a ring, by the way, bitch, because I always fucking check first. My ex best friend always
Yeah.
said you always have to check for a ring first. Wasn't wearing a ring. So,
Mhm.
he said that. I was like, okay. And I was like, that was the first time it had, I felt like kind of been aggressive,
Mhm.
that I remember. And I was like, the correct response would have been like, listen, I'm married. Like, I think it's sweet. Like, thank you. But I just so happen to be
And
married.
that's nice. That's just not how the world works. Like in the world I grew up in, I wouldn't dare walk up to anybody and ask them. I think like I grew up in North Philly. Uh, literally, the nickname in my neighborhood was called the Badlands. It's like shit goes down.
He said from the
Um,
Lion King.
right, but I also know all these niggas, so I'm just like not like afraid in that way. But whatever. But I think also growing up with a lot of brothers, I knew I was privy to what that conversation looked like, what they felt, and so I've never really approached mine that way unless I was absolutely sure. It was actually only as recent as 3 years ago, 4 ago, where I realized I have no kind of gaydar. So I just kind of like
See, I find that really fun. I'm
swipe
the
until
complete opposite. I just told someone today, I said, I think I have probably the best gaydar. But he just was
oh,
a little bit off. You know why I walked up to him, y'all? I was like, I can't figure out if this motherfucker is straight or gay or not. He
the
pulled out his,
boldness of you to ask
he
them.
pulled out. First of all, he was wearing pretty short shorts. Not like short shorts, but like pretty short shorts.
Right.
And I was like, that's not enough. Pulled out his phone. This motherfucker had a, yes, I'm about to generalize. Yes, I'm about to stereotype. It's true though. I've seen plenty of it. He pulled out his phone and this motherfucker had a clear phone case. And I said, gay,
Wait, is that a thing?
gay. Oh, very much so.
I mean,
Do you have a clear case? I have a clear case.
I
You
have
know
a
a
clear
motherfucking clear
case.
case, bitch.
That's funny. No, that can't be true.
So
I
he
have to
pulled it.
really
Oh,
think
it's
about
all
that.
over TikTok. You're not seeing them? There's a trend where people just pull
No,
out their phones and they're like, pull out your phone right now.
that's wild.
Yeah. So
I've
he
been
pulled it out and I
watching
walked
like
over. So he
YouTube
was so
videos about
aggressive.
space the last couple of
And
days, so
yeah, in my head, I was like, I'm about to read this bitch for Phil.
or fight, like because that would be my train of thought.
Well, yeah. And I texted my sister because I was like really down right after that. And I was like, I really don't want to be in the gym anymore. And I texted my sister and I was like, fuck. And she was like, oh, straight people. And I was like,
But I have another question. How is dating going for you? Like, are you dating? Is there any prospects or?
no, definitely not. I'm actually in this place. I'm in this place where I'm not really trying to date. I'm kind of keeping it a little low key. If I hook up and scratch the need, I hook up.
Yeah.
If something comes along my way, great. You know, that's how it always fucking happens. But I'm not really doing it.
Mhm.
Um, Kind of taking a small little break until like Octoberish, and
Yeah.
then we'll see. Um, but yeah,
I realize before every hookup, I jerk off. And then I'm like, if I still want to hook up, then I do it.
that's funny because I've thought
What
about
was the
doing
gas?
that.
Do you not masturbate? What was that?
Not really.
You don't masturbate?
People are like, how often do you masturbate? I'm like, maybe twice a month.
Twice a day. Try that.
Those motherfuckers, I just don't understand. I don't got the time. I don't got the motherfucking time.
I will be fucking late for work because I'm going to bust his nut come hell or high water.
Damn. But yeah, so I was gonna read this bitch for filth, and then well, sorry, I just like I the basically I need to finish this conversation. So
Right, right.
I was about to read this bitch for filth, and I had a good ass like read in my head. But the only
Mm.
fucking thing I can remember now, of course, because it's been a minute, I should have written it down, is that like I would have walked up to this motherfucker and I'd been like, listen, bitch. I was only asking you because I was going to literally ask you how to do arms because your arms are great. But now I'm not going to
Mm.
compliment your motherfucking arms because the only thing you're fucking doing with your arms is fucking your wife with your toxic masculinity. And I'm sure she loves that in bed and just like fucking walk away. Bitch.
I
Like
would
take your toxic
I
masculinity, fuck your wife and walk away. Like I'm sure
yeah,
she's happy with that in bed. Like, what did you want from me? Like,
I
take your
would have shut
small
that shit
ass
down.
penis and like
I would have said
shove it
your
where the
dick is
sun
what
don't
is.
shine.
I would have said something along the lines of your dick is the last thing on my mind. I was trying to figure out where your arms are. As far as the sex, continue giving your wife 7 minutes of missionary disappointment because I don't want any.
Yeah, like I can't with these things. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? And of course, the other fucking motherfuckers in the gym that I've given my phone number to just happened to be there too. There was a day I walked into
Oh,
the gym and I was sitting in the gym and I was like, I'm fine, everything's fine. I saw like
yeah.
one of the motherfuckers that I gave my phone number to. I kid you not. I was on the treadmill in the matter of like 20 minutes, like seven motherfuckers walked in that I've given my phone number to. I was like, this gym is now full of people that have
Have those
literally avoided the shit out
conversations
of
went
me.
anywhere, or was it like people that you were friends with, or
Nada.
like,
I've tried and I've tried. Um, oh, should I? There's a story that I kind of want to tell that oh,
let me tell
okay,
you
we'll just
something.
change their
Let me tell you
names. We'll
something.
change their names. We'll change their
Okay.
names, and we're gonna go for it. So one day I'm in the gym. I'm on the treadmill. I'm always on the fucking treadmill for some reason. I'm on the treadmill. I'm a looker. I think I was watching WandaVision and I was on the treadmill and I look over and there's a very, very attractive man. And he was fine. And we'll call him Jacob.
Jacob.
We'll give him a J name because what a motherfucker.
Why not?
So we'll call him Jacob and yeah, cool. Thought nothing of it. I was like, I'm going to like give him my number, maybe. Like, we'll see how it goes. Like, I'll keep looking.
Yeah.
I look to my left and I'm not noticing anything too crazy, whatever. There's this guy I've never seen before. We'll call him Mason. Wow, these are really bad names.
These are really bad names.
I
So
can't believe
Jacob
these
and
are the first
Mason.
names I'm coming up with.
Yeah.
So we'll call him Mason. Never seen him before. Cool, whatever. No joke. Okay. 10, 15 minutes goes by. I see Mason walk. Now, again, there's social fitnessing in
Yeah.
the gym. And I'm on the far left on the treadmill. There's a treadmill in between. There's actually two treadmills in between, and then him.
Okay.
Mason walks on the treadmill that's stagnant right next to Jacob. And mind you, Jacob's walking forward, looking forward. This motherfucker, Mason, goes to the front of the treadmill, turns his body so that they're both like facing each other, like right next to each other. Like their faces are almost kissing. And I was like, damn, Mason got game. I was like, he got to him before me. I was like, fuck.
Jeez.
So, I was like, whoa. And I see both phones come out of the pocket. And I'm like, wow, okay.
That's awkward.
You guys, I'm sitting on the thing and I got so giddy about it because like some people would get like upset and jealous and like I was still gonna give him my number. Like, I'll fucking fight
Like,
a
that's not
bitch.
stopping me. You got
I'll
me
fight.
fucked
You
up.
don't think I'll fight a bitch for a man? Are you kidding me? And I was sitting on the treadmill and I wrote like a poem because
How
of
you
it.
write in the moment on the treadmill? You wrote a poem.
In the moment on the do you want to should I read it?
Please, I am curious.
This is probably came from the Disney side of me, so I apologize in advance.
No, please. I'm very, very interested.
This everybody slam poetry. Okay. Watching fuck. Watching dreams happen is magical. We never know when we're going to get to witness an opportunity of love, of excitement, of devastation. I used to hate the feeling of the unknown, running away of every thought of the future because it always led to the ultimate unknown, even if I did know God. Now, now I bask in the glory in the unknown. Never know when you're going to witness the most beautiful moments in life. There's nothing like witnessing humans being humans that give you the most adrenaline. They love, they laugh, and most importantly, they are valid. All while watching these motherfuckers.
Are you going to read that at their wedding? Like,
I'm not done. So Mason gets off, goes over, and does his own shit. So I go from the treadmill, I go onto the elliptical, do the elliptical, go to the bike. I'm on the bike. That's when I see the next. Jacob ends up going to Mason and pulling out phones again and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, huh. So I get off of the bike. I go on this is cardio day, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I go off of the bike and I go onto the
What time of
stairs.
day is this too? I feel like that's important for my visualization.
Let's check the notes. What
This
day
is
does it say
morning.
today? What day does it say I wrote this note? January 24th. What day is that? Let's take a gander at the calendar. January 20th.
No, I mean, what time? Was it morning? Was it night?
Like 10, 11 a.m. Oh, I thought you wanted the specific day. It was a Sunday. It was Lord's Day. So
I'm refreshing my wine down here because, you know,
go for it. Yeah. So I'm on the Stairmaster and I do 100 floors. We're 75 floors in. And I see Jacob. Wow. I want to say Justin so bad. I see Jacob walking out. I have never, if you've ever been on a Stairmaster, they're high up. And yeah. I'm going at a pretty fast rate.
Yeah.
There's a pause button. I paused so fast and jumped backwards off of the Stairmaster because I was like, this might be my only chance.
Yeah.
I psyched myself out. I have seen this man pretty much every fucking day in the gym now.
And you haven't like
hold on. So I jump off 75 floors. Mind you, this conversation lasted less than 60 seconds. Why do I know that? Because the pause on the Stairmaster is only for 60 seconds. It was like maybe a 55-minute conversation or for a 55-second conversation, I was able to jump back on so quick. I walk over to this motherfucker and I'm like, listen, I really think you're cute, but I couldn't tell if you guys were dating. And he goes, no, we're not dating. And for that quick second, I was like, oh, love that.
Right.
We're actually married. And I was like, so you know what my response to that was?
Did you just shrivel up?
I have never in my life said anything of the sort. But if anybody's listened to the first podcast about my home wrecking story, I didn't home wreck. The guy I was on a date, I found out had home wrecked a couple of homes.
Yeah.
And it terrifies me. I would never do something like that. So I look fucking Jacob in the dead ass in the eye and I go, oh my God, I would never home wreck. I'm so sorry.
And it just
why did that come out of my mouth? I was like, and then I was like thinking of other things to say. I was like, I just moved here. It was like,
wait, so hold on. So you gave both of them your number?
No.
Okay. All right.
I hadn't gotten to that point yet. Yeah.
Okay. I'm confusing stories. I thought you said that you gave both of them your number.
Okay. No, you're good. So then we're standing there and so the next I was like frantic. I was like, I would never home wreck. I'm so sorry. I just moved here. Like, I'm like, and he was like, oh my God, no way. We just moved here. And I was like, oh, thank God. And so like, it kind of we slowed the conversation down. He was like, here, like, let's get like exchange numbers. And you know, we'll invite you over for dinner one night. And I was like, oh my God, no way.
Love dinner. We love dinner.
Right.
Did you go to dinner?
So
were you the dinner?
Some of y'all might think you know where this story is going. Some of you may not.
I think, come on, like the anticipation has so many
WandaVision. See you next time. No, I'm just kidding.
Please stand by.
Gotta wait a week. So have a couple conversations. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Like, just seeing where we're going. See him a couple more times in the gym, and whatnot. I don't know what it is with me and arms. He has nice arms. Jacob, not Mason. Jacob has really nice arms.
I think they both mesh together in my mind at this point. I'm only separating them by the name.
So Jacob is the one that I'm like was really interested in, like the really fine one. And not that Mason wasn't, but he was cute. Mason's fine, whatever. But I was like, he knows I do real estate, we kind of talked back and forth a little bit at the gym physically. And he was
Mhm.
like, I'm sorry I haven't like texted you back. And I was like, it's totally fine. I'm gonna get the receipt. By the way, I called him married Jim in my phone. Just so I remember
Well,
who
I
it
mean,
is. I
right.
couldn't.
So it's not 3 a.m. and you text her with one eye. Like,
By the way, I still talk to
Nathan,
him
is that the
somewhat
one?
in the gym sometimes, like back and forth. Um, After knowing this conversation, I still talk to him, which you're about to hear.
I
Uh,
feel like you're holding back something, and I'm
oh,
waiting
I'm
for it.
about to tell you. I
Let's
promise.
because I need the juice.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But I
Okay.
called him Mary Jim. Why? Because I couldn't hear his name the first time we were talking. I don't know his name, but I remember his husband name very clearly because it's somewhat of a unique name you kind of don't really hear anymore. But okay.
Right.
Um, so I asked him if he could teach me how to do arms, and he was going to, fully going to. And by the way, I did never go to dinner, and here's why. Also, he called me brother with an A, not an ER,
Uh,
an A. He said, hey, brother, I was going to see if you wanted to do arms tomorrow, but I don't think the husband is comfortable with it. I've had some prior mistakes in the past, so I can't blame him.
and
This
that was it.
motherfucker did not invite me to dinner because something probably might have happened if I had gone, which
What do
I
you
don't know
mean?
whether to take as a compliment. Like, you think I'm sexy and intimidating enough to steal you from your man?
I don't. I so what so okay. I've been married, right? And
Correct.
so one of the things I wanted to do was sort of put myself in a position of our parties because I've been married. I've also been with somebody who cheated on. I've also not necessarily proud of this, have cheated before. And I think it's less about you and more about them not trusting. He's not trusting his partner.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
That's
1000%.
exactly
But
what that sounds
I
like.
gave myself a
It's
little
still
bit of a
juicy as
boost.
fuck though. Oh,
I said,
I'm not taking it away from
oh,
you.
I'm cute enough to home wreck, but I wouldn't do it.
You are an attractive young man, so I'm not taking that away from you.
But
You
I
like
was
the young
like,
man.
so yeah. So I have the straight guy who like fucking screamed at me in the middle of the gym. He didn't
Right.
scream, whatever. But and then I have like this married couple. I have Pablo, who
Pablo.
goes to my
I'm
gym.
following.
And then I
I think
have,
we're all fully invested in Pablo for the record.
oh, okay. I have T. And then I have three other like guys that I've given phone numbers to that we've had like one conversation
Mm.
and they won't text me back.
Yeah.
So I have like seven motherfuckers in the gym, basically gym crushes, but at this point, not crushes, motivation, because I will crush the shit out of them if they try me.
Is that where that post came from? You
Which
posted
one?
something. Which one? You posted something along the lines of would you try something with me? And
Oh,
you was like,
oh,
it's not sexual. And I'm like,
first of all, motherfuckers
what
did
is
not
going on
understand
in
what
that
I said.
fucking life?
I posted an
I didn't know
Instagram
either.
story a little while back and I said, do I really look like you can try me? Like, do I look like someone you would fight? Like, what the fuck?
You elaborated in later posts. First post, your
Well,
post,
no,
your
it
first
said,
post said,
oh, what did it say?
"Would
Do
you
I,
fuck with
oh,
me or not?" And I was like,
oh,
"What?"
would you fuck with me or not? That is exactly what
Yeah,
it said. Because
I
then
was like,
motherfuckers were like, oh, like sex. And I was like, no,
I thought sex. I'm like,
I'm dead. That's what
I
a lot of
don't
people
know.
thought. And they were like, oh, I changed my answer now. But so many of them said yes. And I was like, you really think that I have the face, my eyebrows going up. You really think I
Yeah.
have the face right now to fuck with me? You don't want to fuck with me. I'm a nice
And
ass person, but if you cross me, bitch, I will come for you.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I do believe all of these things to be true. I when I see you, um, you seem very very nice,
And I am.
and
And I would
and
never hurt a fly, but
and
yeah.
so to know that there's this other side really is just far fetched for me because you look so nice and polite. I don't generally go around fuck with people anyway, So that's just not in my nature. But I feel like if I did see you, I wouldn't necessarily
I
expect
have
that
the
from you
coolest 42-year-old. Oh, she's gonna kill me for saying that. I'm so sorry. I have the coolest 42-year-old sister. Why is that important, you may ask?
because it's the roast. Why we
Hold
need to know her
on.
age?
She's got street skills.
Mm,
She's been married to people of color before. I'm gonna have her on my podcast. I won't say too much, and I'm not gonna hopefully say anything that she doesn't want me to say. But I won't say much. But she's been married to a person of color before. She's got street skills. She grew up in a very interesting like neighborhoods, been in
mm,
interesting situations. And the reason that's important is because on top of a motherfucker being gay as fuck, you
mm.
first of all, you don't mess with a motherfucking gay person, but you don't mess with a
Yeah.
motherfucking gay person that's a cool sister who has street skills. Why? The moment you cross me, I know your name, your daddy's name, your mommy's name, your address, your home address, your
For
fucking
real.
address from when you were born. I know your license plate number, bitch. I know what your
Can
weakness
I
is. I know
can
what
I
you're
say
allergic
something?
to. Like, I will come
I'm
for
gonna
you.
say something that I know somebody's going to mention if I don't say it. You said I have a sister. She's been married to a person of color, and then immediately equated that. People, I'm telling you, you know how people are. You said she
True.
was, I'm street smart. She was married to somebody of color. I'm like, ooh, they gonna come after you in the comments.
No, but she was the one. She helped me out in a
I know what you're saying.
situation.
Right.
Um, I'm being so vague. Fuck it. I might have done some of the shit that I had just said with
Yeah.
Tyler. It's not hard information to find, but my
Mm,
sister was like, "Who are you calling?" Like on this live, and I gave
mm.
her his name, and she was like, "Okay." Next thing I
Give me a
know
second.
everything about this man.
Yeah.
And I'm good, but that was like secret agent shit. And I was like, oh shit, like, all right.
Yeah.
Um, and she gained that all on her own, but like there is
Mm.
some level of like street skills in there from diverse
For sure.
experiences. So
I see my street skills is like I'm gonna beat the slap out of you.
yeah.
That's my street
Well,
skills.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
my sister
I
would
know
do the
what you're
same.
saying.
Like she's 42
Yeah.
years old, and if she had grown up in a suburban neighborhood, she would have never gained the skill. Like her combat would be hitting someone with a fucking TV remote. Like
Yeah.
she wouldn't have the skills that she had if she grew up in a white suburban neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to know her, and I'm lucky enough to be gay to kind of know those skills. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
also was in a white suburban neighborhood and grew up basically in that my entire life. So I really wouldn't have
Yeah.
known what that was like. But yeah, I'm a very, very nice person to a fault. Like it's bad. Um,
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
However, seriously, if you cross me, like, and you know me, like I posted a TikTok of a motherfucker who decided that he wasn't going to tell me he was married as I was. What's a podcast appropriate way to say this? Um,
Oh, a podcast, everything. There's nothing off limits.
a, he didn't tell me he was married until I was ejaculating in his mouth. Anyways,
Wait, that was the opportune time to say something. The fuck?
I know. Well, okay, granted, I asked him the question because he put his hand on my thigh and I
Yeah.
saw a ring and I was like, why did I not notice this before? Motherfucking fucker. But I was like,
I would
are
have
you
said,
married?
oh,
Right as he
you're a
was, yeah.
fucking asshole. God
I was like,
damn.
I know. So then I posted his pictures on TikTok and I was like, whoever's husband this is, like, you deserve to know that he's cheating
You still came though.
on you. I mean, I came and
I
I
ain't mad
came for
at you.
him. So
I ain't mad at you. I honestly, this may sound shitty, but I feel like that is none of my business. I did not make a promise to yourself. You did. I do not actively go out seeking married people.
true.
But if there are circumstances that align, like if it's 3 a.m. and I want to have a hookup, I am not investigating all of this. I'm a busted nut, and if I see you in,
Which
the
it is
supermarket with
my
your
fault that I
spouse,
forgot to ask, but I'm sorry, but motherfucker, you
my
should
thing is
have.
if I see you in the supermarket with your spouse, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not my business. I don't got shit to do with it.
Yeah, but like be on, like the thing is like the thing I love and I it's sexy and attractive. Like just be honest. Like
Yeah.
And and some people are, they like that. They like it. They think
Well,
it's some kink, or
I
they think
I
it's some
really pride
fetish.
myself on being completely fucking honest. I don't beat around the bush. I don't like to mince
Yeah.
words. Straight shooter. I love to
Yeah.
be that way because it leaves no room for
Yeah.
interpretation
Because
at all.
there are plenty of people on Grinder that are completely fine with doing that, and there are
Mm.
some people like me who really aren't. And
Yeah.
those people should be honest with the people that they're having sex with and be like, hey, just so you know. And it's like, do you care? I wouldn't, if he had told me before, I would have been like, no, I would have blocked him. It would have been the end of the situation. I wouldn't have
Mm.
fucking cared. But because
Yeah.
he brought me in and did all of that shit, like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like you didn't just fucking lie to me.
Yeah. When I was in an open relationship, I was very, 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 it was very important for me to let people know because I think if I give you, I don't want to take away anyone's power. So consent matters to me. And I think by not or withholding information is
Yeah.
the same as receiving someone into
Oh,
consent. To
absolutely.
get you really fucking drunk and sticking a thumb up your butt. Like
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah. So right, so we're doing another two-parter. This one was equally as long, almost as Chesley's was. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another Friday episode as well. So stay tuned for that second part. It gets a lot more intense, and we talk about the N word. We talk about kind of sexual compatibility and open marriages and traveling and long distance and all of that jazz. So stay tuned for that. That'll be up on Friday. I love you guys. Stay tuned.